This is the 9th of our webinars on finding authentic you. Today we're going to talk about weight loss, or most importantly, the control of the body with the mind. Most people who come to me with a problem such as a habit, and we'll talk particularly about weight loss, have three issues. The component is that they have trouble controlling their body with their mind. 2, they want to fill a gap with this habit, an emotional gap. And third, and most importantly, especially with weight gain and weight loss, is that they don't have a complete understanding of how to utilize the energy that we put in our body, which is food and drink, and how to utilize the energy moving out of the body, which is exercise. These two have to be balanced for no weight gain to happen. So let's talk about the first issue, gaining control of the body with the mind. Now, if you've been watching the webinar, you've been recognizing that meditation, or the ability to come outside of the physical self, is a very important component about learning the process of gaining control over the body. A very simple exercise is to begin by controlling your breath. The breath is what is the life in the body. If there is no breath, there's death. So if you think about it, you can put a metronome on, and if you have a cell phone that is a device that can act as a computer, you can download an app that's called a metronome. And put this metronome on 60, which is 1 beat per second, and see if you can make your inhales 5 or 6 counts and your exhales 5 or 6 counts. The objective here would be to go 3 minutes with controlling your breath. Inhale for 5 or 6, exhale for 5 or 6 with no space between the inhales and the exhales for about 3 minutes. What this does, functionally, it makes you use your mind to control your body. But physiologically, what it does is it slows your heart rate and it reduces your blood pressure by 10 to 15 points, almost immediately. And you can even try it. You can take your blood pressure before you do it and your blood pressure after. An equal amount of oxygen going in and oxygen going out at a particular rate automatically slows the body down, which is why cigarette smoking, if you take a long puff and you release it for about the same amount of time, it's going to, after the 3 minutes it takes to smoke the cigarette, it's going to make you feel relaxed. You can do the same thing without the cigarette. Trust me, I've been doing this for years, helping people for years. Your blood pressure reduces as a result of this exercise. And the second component is the hardest component to deal with, and that is dealing with the emotional energy of trying to fill a gap with food or with an addictive substance like food or alcohol or drink or drugs, by using this substance to try to cover or make the need not be there. Well, we can do that for a while, but eventually we'll realize that the emotional need is still there, and my suggestion is to find a practitioner of some sort, a therapist, a psychologist, or a life coach to help you with those emotional needs, because they're not going to go away, and you'll continually feel the need or the neural pathway, which is the trigger in your brain to satisfy that need with food or with an addictive substance. The third issue is pretty much the easiest one to deal with, and we'll talk about diet specifically, as I promised. The first thing we need to do is we need to realize that food is energy. So when we put energy in the body, it has to come in the forms of fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Okay, so carbohydrates come in two forms: simple carbs and complex carbs. Vegetables and fruit are complex carbs. Simple carbs are sugary substances, breads, pastas, things that go into the body and digest very quickly and turn into sugar. Even fruit can sometimes go to sugar too quickly, so overeating fruit isn't a good idea. But the carbohydrates we want to take into our body are going to be more vegetables than anything else. The next thing is that every meal needs to have some protein in it, and depending on your weight, I'm thinking as an adult probably about 18 to 21 grams of protein. And you can always find the protein on any substance, either online, or you can look right on the box or on the can or on the carton. It usually tells exactly how much protein, how much fat, and how many carbohydrates are in everything that you're eating or drinking. So the next thing is the fat. Most things in life, most food in life has the fat already in it. We don't need to add extra fat to our body. However, there are a couple fats that are really good for the body. Raw or unheated olive oil is one. Avocado is two. And three is almonds. So we can eat some of each of those, and I'm not talking a whole avocado, maybe half of an avocado a day, 5 or 6 almonds, a handful, not an entire pound, and maybe a tablespoon of olive oil on a salad would be great. Okay, now exercise. Let's talk about the ability to start where you are. Most people can't run on a treadmill immediately if they're overweight. They have to start where they can. Sometimes if you're bound to a seat and you can barely get up because of your weight, because your knees and your feet are swollen, you need to do exercises that require you to just sit down. And some of those exercises can be easy, but some are a little bit more difficult. If you could, for the time of, say, 1/2 an hour TV show, and I would imagine if you're bound to a seat that you watch TV or you're on the computer quite a bit, you can do simple arm exercises. Just move the arms back and forth, or you can lift one knee at a time toward the belly. And you can do these exercises for 15 minutes and at the beginning and work up to 30 minutes. If you're able to get on a fitness ball, I would recommend bouncing on that fitness ball, and this will take all the tension out of your knees and off your feet as well. And you can bounce very gently. Make sure that the fitness ball is next to something so that you can hold on to it so that you don't slip off the ball. And do this for about 30 minutes at first and work up to 45 minutes to an hour. These two things will immediately help you begin to lose weight and balance the amount of food that you're bringing in with the amount of exercise that you're putting out. I hope this helps, and join me for the next Finding Authentic You or Uncommon Gay Spiritual Warrior. Have a good day.